Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, that pretty strong BMF. Although, admittedly, I'm not feeling very pretty today since I am very sleep deprived. Hardly slept at all last night, and as a result, I'm not getting much done today. But anyway, we're talking today about how to determine whether a consumable of some kind is a good protein source. Okay? We've talked about the importance of protein. That is, it is essential for building muscle. If you don't get enough protein, you're not building muscle. It is that simple. There's no way around it. Even if you're on drugs, there's no way around it. You need protein. So, as far as I'm concerned, this video is unique on YouTube because not once have I ever observed, and now my knowledge of all things on YouTube is not exhaustive, right? But not once have I observed or heard or anyone, any expert fitness influencer, nobody has ever established an objective criterion for establishing whether a protein source is in fact a good protein source. I've just never heard it before. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to share with you the system, or rather the formula that I use, the mathematical formula, for determining whether a food that is food or drink, and I will refer to all such consumables as food from here on in this video. Just bear in mind it applies to everything, all foods and drinks, okay? How do we determine whether a food is in fact a good protein source? Okay. Well, we just have to do some basic arithmetic. It's nothing extreme. Okay, we're not doing algebra here. It's very easy stuff. All right. All you have to do is take the number of grams that a food contains. Again, it's food or drink, but that a food contains per serving, and divide it by the number of calories that it contains per serving. And if the answer that you receive happens to be 0.1 or greater, then that is a good protein source. That is to say, if the answer that you get is 10% or more, it's a good protein source, and we're calling that a 10. Okay? So if you have a food that is 100 calories, and you see that it contains also 10 grams of protein per serving, 100 calories, 10 grams of protein, 10 is 1/10 of 100, that's 10%, it's a 10. Does that make sense? It's simple. Okay, so long as the number of grams of protein is 10% or more than the number of calories per serving, you've got yourself a good protein source. All right. Now that is not to say, of course, and if you're adept at math, you would have recognized this right off the bat. That is not to say that 10 is a perfect score. It's not like being a judge with a scoreboard and 10 is perfect, it doesn't get better than that. No. It's more like a pH scale, okay, where 7 is perfectly neutral, that's water, and anything below 7 is acidic, down all the way to 0, which is as acidic as it gets, and anything above 7 up to 14 is basic, okay? And 7 is in the middle, again, just neutral at water. So the 7 on the pH scale, you can kind of think of that like the 10 on our protein scale. If it's a 10, that is the number of grams of protein is at least 10% or more, is 10% exactly, that is 10% of the number of calories it contains per serving, you've got a 10. Okay, you can say it's 10%, you can say it's a 10, it's the same thing. They're interchangeable with this system, okay? So let's look at a couple examples, okay? Let's evaluate a few items with this criterion we've established, with our objective criterion here, okay? Peanut butter to start off. Packed with protein, it says. Should you believe it? Should we agree with that? Well, we don't have to just determine on our own, do we feel like it's a good source of protein? That's what everyone else is doing. We want to determine objectively, is this a good source of protein? And we've established our criterion for making that evaluation, so we're going to do it. 8 grams of protein, okay? So is it a good one or not? In order to know, we have to look at the number of calories. So how many calories? Oh, it's like being in school again. Well, yeah, this is why you learn math in school, so you can do important things like this. So you can get ripped, okay? That's why you learned math in elementary school, so you could grow up, be a middle-aged, ripped guy or lady. 8 grams of protein, so in order to qualify as a good protein source, it would have to be 80 calories or less, right? Because the number of grams of protein would have to be 1/10 or more than the number of calories. 8 grams of protein, we need an 80 calories. Do we see 80? We see 180. That's a bit off the mark, I regret to inform you. A bit off the mark. Even at 160 calories, this would only score a 5. Okay, 5 because 8 is 5% of 160. But it's 180, so it's not even that. It's like a 4 or 3. It's crappy. Okay, packed with protein? I don't think so. I don't think so. Sure, you could get a lot of protein from peanut butter, but you'd have to eat serving after serving after serving. Let's say, you're running low on your protein count today. You got to get your protein in if you want to build that muscle, and you've been slacking today, so you got to slam down some protein. You need to slam down 40 grams of protein right now, okay? So that's 5 servings of peanut butter. That's 900 calories. Okay? Yeah, you're going to get big real quick doing that, but it's not going to be the right kind of big. It's not the kind of big you probably want to get, unless you're skinny already. But that's a whole different issue. Packed with protein, not so much. What is packed with protein? Right? Whey protein powder, that's packed with protein, isn't it? We are told it is, so let's put it to the test. 30 grams of protein. Oh, 30, that's a lot more than 8, right, per serving. All right, 30 grams per serving, 30 grams of protein. So to score a 10, right, just to qualify as a good source, not even an excellent one, just a good one, like a respectable source of protein, we'd have to be looking at 300 calories or less for this. Only 180 calories. Wowee. That's a lot more than, that's a score much higher than 10, I have to say. At 30 grams of protein, if it were to have 150 calories, just 30 calories less, this would score a 20. So we're looking at something in the high teens for this, like maybe like an 18 or something, just coming up with numbers in my head here. But it's almost a 20. That is a very good source of protein. I would say that's an excellent source of protein. Good job, whey protein. All right, you passed the test with flying colors. Now, what is a superb source of protein? Tuna. Tuna. A gift given unto us by the bodybuilding gods, right here. You want to lose body fat and build muscle, eat yourself a can of tuna if you can every day. I like tuna. I got no problem with that. A lot of people have a problem with tuna, it seems, I guess. Just in my experience. I got no problem with it. And if you can, if you have any qualms with eating tuna and you're trying to build muscle, you may want to condition yourself, because this right here, this is the ticket. It has 110 calories. Okay, so again, to score a 10, it would be 11 grams of protein, right? 110 calories. We need 11 grams of protein. It's 23 grams of protein. So we're scoring We're scoring almost a 23 on this. It's a 22 point something like that. It's almost a 23. That's insane. That is a huge amount of protein per calorie. That's craziness. Okay, few things can compete with this. Maybe like lean chicken breast. That's about the only thing I can think of that that can compete with this. Almost just 23. That's crazy. Craziness. Eat yourself some tuna. For crying out loud. Get some. I love it. All right. Now, this little system we've devised that I've been using for some time now is good not only for like weight management and making sure you hit your protein every day, that sort of thing. It's also good for detecting and identifying the scammers out there, okay? The ones who want you to think, oh, this product we got on the shelf, this yummy bar or whatever, it's got lots of protein, right? This peanut butter is packed with protein, get some. Except it's not. We've established objectively it's not. Okay? Doesn't matter how we feel about it. Doesn't matter how good it tastes. It's not. It doesn't matter whether it says protein on the label. So here we've got a Kellogg's Special K chocolate peanut butter protein meal bar. That's what it says, word for word. Protein meal bar. 12 grams of protein. This is claiming to be specifically a protein product. That is the main reason that you're presumably purchasing it yourself and consuming it. It's a protein bar. So surely this would have no more than 120 calories, right? I mean, there are lots of foods out there that we know are high in protein, far higher in protein per calorie than, just a score of a 10. So surely this would make the mark, right? Well, let's see. And by the way, I have not looked at this label yet. Okay? So I'm doing this test with you. I haven't looked at this yet. I don't actually know whether this is a good protein source. Okay? I knew coming into this that the peanut butter wasn't. And I have my suspicions based on things I've observed in the past. Englishy. So hard. Let's check it out. 12 grams of protein. We need 120 calories or less. What do we got? 190. 190 calories. That is not 120. That is far more than 120. Not a 10. Again, not even close. Not even close. So, protein meal bar. Yeah, I'm going to have to say not. It's not. Missed the mark. Sorry, Kellogg's. Now, this is what I call false advertising, okay? You're not going to win any lawsuits over it, okay? Because there's nobody saying that anyone else has to subscribe to my system for determining, whether a food or drink is a good protein source. And you don't have to either, all right? There's no law saying that you have to subscribe to my ideals. I'm just sharing with you what I've been doing since I started exercising and caring about the way I look and the way I feel 2 years ago. That's all I'm doing here. I'm sharing my experience with you. You can take it or leave it. You could raise the bar. You could say, no, it's got to be higher than just 10% of the calorie count. It's got to be higher than a 10 to qualify. It's got to be a 12 or it's got to be a 15 or whatever. 15 is pretty high, though. That's setting the bar pretty high, let me tell you. You could say it's lower. You could be like, no, you know what? That's too strict for me. But here's the thing, okay? Here's where I stick with 10. It's not just a convenient, nice round number, okay? 10 is a very convenient number. But it also helps to kind of just average things out, because a lot of foods that you eat are not going to score a 10. They're not gonna contain that much protein. Okay, but if you set that bar at a 10, It's going to help you to keep things averaged, because that's what it's about. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, of the month, okay, everything, it's all cumulative. We're talking about averages here. So you could have something for breakfast that scores really high on the protein scale, and then for lunch, you had something that didn't score so well. You know, even in the same meal, you could have, like if I make a sandwich, right? I've got bread and cheese, which although they contain some protein, they're not good protein sources. But then I've got the lunch meat to go with that, which does qualify as a good protein source. It scores higher than a 10. So it kind of averages out. And then when I throw some cottage cheese on the side, which I do almost every single time, which scores a 15, by the way, the low-fat cottage cheese that I buy from Aldi is 12 grams of protein per serving at only 80 calories. So that's a 15. That's a very good protein source. You put all that together in the same meal, and you've got yourself a high-protein, relatively low-calorie meal. It's not very complicated. It just takes a little bit of thinking, a little bit of cognizance. You just got to kind of pay attention to things, pay attention to the labels, work out the numbers a little bit, and you'll be fine. So take that as you will. I invite you to try out my little system here. Or if you think it's all bogus and I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about, then don't. Go, do whatever you want. Ultimately, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just sharing with you what I do, and it's been working out for me so far. And again, like I said earlier in the video, as far as I can tell, no one else has done this before. No one has established any sort of objective criterion for determining whether a protein source is a good or bad protein source. So you heard it here first. But it's not copyrighted. I got no trademark on it. So run with it. Do what you will with it. It's yours. Have fun. All right. I will see you all in the next video, whenever and whatever that will be. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.